Yes.
Peace.
Celebrate.
Peace and love, family.
2525.
What's good?
I love you, man.
What's good?
Happy anniversary,
You
dude.
getting right to it, right? You getting
I
right
love you,
to
man.
it.
Shit,
She
I ain't
getting
ashamed.
right to it. What up,
I ain't
y'all?
ashamed to tell.
What's goody? Hey, missus. How you doing?
We made it, man.
Word. You know
We
what
made
it
it.
is. You know what it is.
25, baby.
We here.
25, my man.
We here.
It feels
What's good? What's good? What's good? I hear you talking.
Oh, man.
How you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's Sunday.
Right.
You know, we're going to take a little quiet on the shame day. We're going to celebrate today.
Okay.
January 1st.
I ain't mad at you.
You know, such a great day.
Make sure to get your
1998
values
was
right.
a good year.
Get your levels right. Shout out to 1998.
Yes. A different time.
No doubt.
Than it is now.
Okay.
I'm thankful.
True.
For the goods, the bads, the uglies, the roller coasters, the downside, the upside, the twisted side. No, your side, my side. He said, she said.
Right. That part.
I'm taking it all.
That part.
I learned that early as a little kid. Just grew up with that song in my head. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life.
Wow.
The facts of life. Right. There's a time you gotta grow and show.
She going in. She going in.
The facts of life.
She going in.
I mean, some things stick.
Okay.
When you don't have direct teaching and learning,
right,
you got to take what you can get, and make it your own lessons if you have to.
Right.
And that's the blueprint we didn't have. So salute to those great shows that, gave us some great models and influence.
No doubt. I couldn't agree more. So shout out to everybody checking in. Shout out to the missus. We just popped on today just to spread a little bit of love to each other. And pop in. We haven't been in on for a while. Wanted to wait for the new year and come back with fresh material, fresh information, fresh formats, and so on and so forth. But today was our anniversary. So happy anniversary to the tribe.
Yes. Happy anniversary.
And we just wanted to pop on and show some love to ourselves. Sometimes you got to do that. Recognize, your contribution to your progress thus far and reflect. And us being together, 25 years today. We met on January 1st in a small little nightclub in Brooklyn. And it's been a ride. So we just wanted to reflect on that and come on here and play a couple videos and still have a little bit of fun. But at the same time, show the example that is the HarrisTribe Media Group. He said, she said, love and abundance. And what we do to express, appreciation to each other, to this platform, to the people that have accepted us into their circle, and so on and so forth. So we just wanted to pop in today and just have a little bit of fun on a Sunday.
That's right. Don't be shy about love. I think that's where, the elders before us went wrong. We didn't see the light,
right? The
glimmer, the shine, the excitement in each other's, in each other's faces. It was more of just kind of dismay, dismiss. You know what I mean? I'm just here, docile, whatever. So, you get to see it.
Just adjusting your mic levels a little bit so I can get you.
There's always rough patches. There's always, because with growth, right? When you're attempting to grow, it's a challenge, right? So it's always going to be a disconnect somewhere between each other with yourself for that particular growth, and it's confusing and it's scary.
True.
So being able to express that, even to a degree where I don't know how to change that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the slow steps of, I'm not even aware on how to change said behaviors. I may need a little help, a little guidance with that because I want to, I really do. But you can't always have someone push you. If it's something that you desire, something you aspire to, you got to be your own drive sometimes.
Absolutely.
And in marriages, we get a little confused with that. Sometimes you got to drive yourself through that growth and that change,
Right.
as well as me having to do that. That was a little harder for me.
Okay.
You know, I can say, I'm not sure about you, but it was a little harder for me. And there was times I needed to lean on, you know, the women around me, or, you know, at least the elder women around me, you know, just to see what kind of knowledge I can get off of them. You know, what did they go through,
No doubt.
you know, to help me. So, you know, it's okay to reach out to one another, you know, to share. We want to reach out when we're in distress,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So when you are celebrating and happy, that's a good reason to, you know, express and reach out as well.
True indeed. Let's go ahead and get to the pleasantries.
Yes, welcome,
Shout out to
y'all.
everybody checking in.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
See, Neek is the night is in the
Hey,
building.
love.
Hey, Neek, what's up, girl? How you
Hope all
doing?
is
She
well.
said happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Knowledge and relationships in the building. My brother M3, intellectual soapbox, the whole team over there.
Yes, peace, brother.
And we want to take a second for a moment of silence for our sister, Queen, from Knowledge and Relationships channel. Sending love and light to those channel members over there. Sending love and light to her and her family. You were immensely appreciated over here. Your words of being intentional were heard and gonna be taken purposely, especially from the notification of you no longer being with us. So sending love and light to you. We want to give a moment of silence for Sister Queen B. Salute to you, sis. We love you. We gonna miss you, and we gonna be out here doing the work, and we will be intentional. You can believe that. Shout out to Freaky Ty on the check-in. What up, Skrill? Hope all is well. Brother Hall, the all-star advisor, is in the building.
Welcome.
He said, happy anniversary. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Happy New Year's to everybody out there.
Yes, 2023, y'all.
Freaky Ty said, damn, it's been that long.
It has.
Mrs. Do you have a story in relation to Freaky Tyrone
man.
Johnson, aka Skrilla, and you when we met?
Yeah, this brother's an awesome brother. Again, an elder for us, to me, you know, that uncle figure. When I first met this gentleman, you know, I was a little stalkerish. I popped up a lot looking for him. You know, I was intentional. Let's just say that. But there was one time this brother Ty walked up on my car, and, you know, we had this whole build up conversation of, you know, he's like, you guys are going to be together forever type stuff, you know. He's like, you here for C's, right? I'm like, yeah, where he at? But he would always tell him that he told me this story, but he never asked me. And every time I would see Ty without him, he'd be like, you know, we would always relive that story. But it took, maybe 17 years for us to get together and actually build up this story. Yes, and it actually happened. He said that. And I appreciate you, brother, for, you know, being a little intuitive and assisting us in our growth and being there in times when we needed someone to help us. And we thank you.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you and your love and your welcomeness, you know, even with your disses and your comebacks. And
absolutely.
I love it. We love you, man. It's awesome.
And I think that's, you know, why we stand on the squares that we stand on, because a brother like Skrilla, his love comes with a certain instruction, a certain dictation, and a level of inconsideration that is rightfully so. Right. You're in a position that you need to work harder to get out of this position you're in. You don't like the way you feel right now. Remember that feeling.
That's right.
Bite it, taste it, do whatever you need to do, but remember it and make it your gasoline to work harder. And we absolutely appreciate you, bro. You know how I feel about you. I'm always here for you.
Lots of love.
You ever need me, I'm a phone call away. Brother Alonzo checked in. He said, how long y'all been together? 25 years, and tall ain't even 40 yet. Y'all like 32 max. Brooklyn Avenue, absolutely.
Yes.
Y'all check out Kings and Dreams on the check-in, man. Shout out to you, brother. Great content creator, great information over there. Shout out to What the Funk is in the building.
Peace.
My peoples. Hope all is well.
Love can be used as a tool, a fountain of youth, shall I say.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay.
I say it has the power and the strength to create so much positivity and optimism and, enlightenment, to welcome growth.
Mm-hmm.
With growth comes so much understanding, and you want to do better. So when you want to do better, you want to live better, you want to eat better, you want to live longer.
True indeed.
So you can enjoy it longer.
True indeed.
That's just my opinion. So, and with your discipline, because I really didn't have much. I came from some rough beginnings, lack of stability, all that.
No doubt.
So the discipline was just was so needed, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you had as much discipline as you had at such a young age for a man. 23 is pretty freaking young.
Mm-hmm.
To already be responsible and be living in your purpose and stand on your square.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
And I appreciate that. So
no doubt, I appreciate you. Thank you.
It sets boundaries, and
we got a question. What's your favorite couple song? I know what my answer would be. I'm not sure what your answer would be.
I mean, I'm going to go back to the past. Baby, no more grinding.
Okay.
I get so excited.
Okay. Yeah, we met to that one. Too Close by Next. Butter Love.
Old school, yes.
Butter Love was something that we shared in common. But right now, my answer to that question would be someone to count on in a world ever changing. Here I am, stop where you're standing. God damn. Yeah, because we do that a lot. Karaoke, it just, feels good.
Yeah, it does.
It reminds us of old school when our moms used to clean up and stuff like that. So it kind of brings
Saturday
it all together. So I think
up.
that one would be for me. But Next, Too Close, that's
it's too many to name.
After Dark. But yeah, those are.
How will I know?
Good.
Apologize, Anita Baker. So many.
True indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say sports. You give me kudos on all of these attributes. And again, I didn't come from the most nurturing home. I came from, a stable home.
Yeah.
Because it was a brownstone Brooklyn community, village raising a child, so on and so forth. But I think it was really the sports that kind of gave me the view of, team, championship, success versus not. There is no in between. Second place is the first loser. How you take it, all of the rest of that, que sera, sera. But either you're good enough or you're not. People ask champions how they felt. How did they deal with adversity? They don't ask this to people who won second place. Who cares? And I've always had that mindset. Right. And, whether or not we all buy into it at the same time, if it takes time, so on and so forth. But as long as we have that mindset of we're a team aspiring for a goal greater than us,
right.
I think that it was, just time that it was going to take to get it all to fall into place. I got a couple of banners.
Shout out to sports.
Not many, just a couple. January 1st, 1998, 25 years ago. What would you tell that couple? What would you tell those two young people just meeting in a nightclub? What people say is impossible. What would you tell them about love, about life, about relationships and things to come now?
Oh, man. I would tell them that, love is a conscious choice. It's a word that's, really proven with action. And if that's something you're looking for, you have to be purposeful in it, and you have to be intentional with your movements. And if you have traumas and childhood situations prior to that, some things you definitely need to deal with, especially young folk coming together, because everybody comes from some stuff, so be open and transparent as possible. to show that you're willing to work through those things and not look for somebody to always lean on to fix it. Anything's possible. You have to be intentional. You can't ask for something and not think that someone wants something in return.
Understandable.
That's pretty much. What would you give?
I mean, 25 years looking back, I would tell that young couple that their love is the ultimate driving factor in their relationship and coexistence. And like I tell each and every person we come in contact with, don't forget those days when it was just you by yourself, thinking about, what your aspirations were, what kind of family you were going to give yourself. We all come from certain backgrounds and we all walked with ourselves saying, you know what, when I get my shot, I'm going to make a fruitful family. I'm going to find a great significant other and pour into them all of the things that weren't poured into me to this point. So I would just tell them to continue to, love themselves no matter what relationships they enter into, because once you love yourself, you won't allow the disrespect. You won't allow the deceit, because you'll hold yourself accountable for not seeing the flags, for not seeing through the imposters, for not seeing through the representatives that people put up. You're going to look a little more seriously. You're going to scrutinize a little more highly, because you hold yourself to a high esteem. So, all of the young people that are looking to be in relationships, looking to be married, marry yourself first. Be in a relationship with yourself first. Know yourself first before you put yourself out there to someone else.
All right. I agree.
Okay. Let's play our icebreaker video, and let me do this. If somebody would like to come through, say what up, say happy anniversary, tell a story, ask a question. Feel free to do that.
And everybody finishing up their Sundays. It's all good.
Yeah. We here.
Let's here to share a little
Open
love.
in Google Chrome for the best results.
Yes.
And it should let you write in. When you don't open in Google Chrome, people get a little bit of delays and some problems. So our suggestion is just open up in Google Chrome and come right on in. Shout out to Brother Vaughn is in the chat.
Welcome.
We appreciate you being here, brother. Amazing brother. Amazing platform. Always, kind words to say about us particularly, but
much appreciated.
Always, a kind word to say in general, and always a fruitful discussion to be had. Now, they always deter. Conversations always take another life. But for the most part, and their determination and aspirations is to always keep it positive and remain everybody being heard. And I think that's very respectful. So shout out to Let's Talk the Better Black Life over there, Brother Rico.
Shout out to y'all.
Brother Clarence, Brother
Always
Vaughn, OG Patrice, whole team over there. We love each and every last one of y'all.
Yes.
Keep pushing out that content.
We see you and hear you.
I'm gonna play a video before I put the next banner up. I only got one more banner, so I gotta hold my banners near and dear to my heart.
You gotta hold it tight here for a short while.
But I'm gonna play a video in regards to just relationships, so on and so forth. And
while you do that, let me elaborate on the lack of discipline I expressed.
Okay.
The lack of discipline that I had for allowing you to have your dream, not allowing you, but you to be able to comfortably express it as much as me. Happy wife, happy life.
Right.
That was kind of taught and spewed, like my side is more valid than yours, or more valuable than yours, versus like you didn't have the dreams of the family like I did. So understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So those learning to understand you more and being okay with it and not struggling through it.
Right.
there was time you had to walk on eggshells, and that's very unfair of me because of my lack of emotional discipline. You know what I mean? I came from explosion, so the women that you see now, I did come from that, but I grew out of it young. I learned to grow out of it young. I didn't want to stay there and be that, so being conscious of it, where everybody talk about triggers and everybody has those.
Absolutely.
So learning to grow, to not respond to those things was hard. It was hard. So to see you be so disciplined in my emotional outrage, it taught me you can do it like you're human. You can be able to do this, so that's what I meant by that.
No doubt. Shout out to Intellectual Soapbox in the building, my guy. Hope all is well. Sending love and light to you and the team over there.
So much.
No, absolutely. And the thing for me about that is sometimes I know those weren't easy pills to swallow. And I had to throw those pills out there and sometimes leave them out there.
Yeah, the dangle.
And it's like, shit, she ain't gonna like that. But
cut the knife.
I gotta say it.
Thick. That's quiet.
And a lot of the times it was like, those are your feelings. You gotta sit with those. Those are yours.
I had to learn to listen to understand and really not, because I was a listener to respond. Oh, wait, say something. You know what I mean? Because I can challenge that. Double standard this, double standard that. Like all of this, y'all, went through that very young, but the battle is so unnecessary. And, it's just a little bit of transparency.
True indeed. So since you say that, let's play this quick video and then we're going to go from there real quick.
Tired of repeating yourself 1, 2, 3, 4 times when you speak to your husband? Trust me, I get it. My husband almost didn't survive from one of those times. Let me give you the #1 tool. It's one sentence that you have to say before you start communicating about your topic. Hey babe, is now a convenient time to talk about insert subject? It'll only take insert how many minutes. Seriously, say that sentence and then wait. It is the most amazing tool. I think it saved my marriage, and it is the key to never walking away from your spouse feeling like you weren't heard.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great tool. But we're a society of reactive. Instead of that's a way to be proactive now. The calm and the and I really absolutely we can do it, but we talk all the time. So but it is times where I know you may be in a space, and that approach would be best than to just come and try to lay something on you.
Right.
But if I'm coming to lay something on you, it's like we gotta flow. That's all.
We do.
So.
Shout out to my guy, Intellectual Soapbox.
Yeah, that was
the
a good
best.
tool,
He said, love y'all for real on some Brooklyn shit. You know it, baby. We out here, man. BK all day.
All day.
She filling your head with he said, she said.
We appreciate you, bro. BK all day. Brother Donique is in the building. Shout out to him.
Peace to you, brother.
He said the remix. We know what today is. It's y'all anniversary. It's y'all anniversary. Shout out to you, Donique. We appreciate you, man, rocking with us all year.
Word.
Appreciate the Cash App. Appreciate the Super Chat. Appreciate all the support, man.
Yes.
The insight, suggestion, it's all appreciated. You guys are all inspiration to us. And I think what the young lady said in the video was, it's just considerate. And again, I'm always, speaking about consideration and how we are not. And I just think that just considering practicing a different form of how to put something, especially coming from people who say it's how you put it.
Yes.
It's the way you said it. It's so on and so forth. When you have a woman saying, sometimes we can just jump down our significant other's throat with it instead of phrasing it. Would you have a couple of minutes to talk about XYZ? It's only going to take. And I don't think us as men are going to be like, oh, no, get out of my face with that. Can't tell. Don't have time. But, again, you never know that the pictures that they paint is so, demonstrative, absolutely, of Mr. Not Mr. He said, Mr. from the color purple. But I don't think there's a lot of men like that.
That these women choose to have married. Right. Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
So
Yeah.
I got one more banner. I got some fun videos I want to get to, but
our tone can be crazy too. So ladies, don't think you're not being received a certain way as well. And if they express your tone was a little dismissive or cantankerous or whatever the hell, respectfully, right? You want it to be respected. So you gotta be able to hear that as well.
absolutely. Again, coming from people who say, you have to cater your vocabulary to your audience. You have to cater your tone to your audience. It applies to us all. I believe that men deserve a certain consideration when it comes to your tone, to the words that you choose and you use to speak to them. I put another banner up there, Mrs. Harris. See what that say?
What does that say? 9,131 days. 9,131 days.
You know what that is?
That's how many days we've been together?
That's 25 years.
25 years.
In days. You know why I put that there?
Right.
Maybe if that's how people thought about their life, their relationship, their situations, it might last a little longer. If you thought about it one day at a time versus I've been in this for 15 years, giving my all, when you shouldn't be a giver at all. You should be a receiver. That's why it ain't been working. But it's just the little things like that people use in their own vocabulary to talk about and describe their situation. When if we took it one day at a time, like an alcoholic, like a dope fiend, like a drug addict, maybe we would have a little more appreciation for it, a little more value. What do you think?
A little bit. I agree. Because it is a day-to-day struggle. It is a day-to-day blessing. So the day-to-day challenge, like all of that can be in a day. Man, it's about the mindset. If you want to love, you're gonna do it. If you want to be kind, you should do it. Consideration is so important in a relationship, and it can't just be one-sided. It's not all about you. And women have become a lot, not saying all, but a lot of the modern women believe that it is all about you. And sadly, many of those relationships will fail because men are human and, they chose to live a life with you. They didn't have to choose that. So with you means with you, not you control and be superior to every aspect of what the hell they do. Communicate.
True indeed.
It's the only way to know. You got to listen to understand and not to respond. We have to be proactive and not reactive. And sadly, even if you didn't learn that in your home, society is teaching us that. So we kind of just going along. We're so easily influenced, But I don't think someone you choose to love and marry and make that full-on commitment, you should turn around and start beating up on, hating, and competing with and fighting with and antagonizing. I'm so confused. Wow. Now, relationships, yes, but once you make that decision, that conscious decision to marry, you agree. He says, I want you, I choose you. And you say, yes, I agree to get on your page because you living in the right purpose. You living in the way that I want to move. I don't think they really understand that. So
true indeed. Shout out to Red Lipstick Vibes
Shout
on
out,
the check in. Hey, sis. Hope all is well. She said, one day at a time, sweet Jesus, sweet little baby Jesus.
And especially you've been living life, up until that point, to this person. Like you're used to being selfish. You're used to, only considering self and, I'm only going to do things that make me happy. And, everything is self. But when you get into something with someone else, it's not. And on both sides, if you have a selfless mate, either way, run. If you see it already off top, they're selfish to their family, self-absorbed to their family and friends. They're all about me. Like you might want to run. What makes you think that they are going to make you a priority and consider you if this is how they treat the people around them? So, you got to pay attention to people and how they behave and not what they say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, that puts the emphasis and the onus back on you to be a good judge of character, to be a person that can see through manipulation and so on and so forth.
Yep.
Sis said, happy anniversary. Thank you, sis.
Thank you.
Skrilla said, happy New Year's to Red Lipstick Vibes from
Okay.
Skrilla.
Yes.
True indeed.
Love the love. Love the love. Spread it. Spread it.
Hope you guys had a safe and happy New Year's Eve and brung in the New Year's with loved ones and enjoying your day today. Mrs. Harris, how was your week?
It was good. Got a break from school, which was awesome.
Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and give everybody else a break from their week and play a commercial. Y'all like commercials, right? Here we go.
Bust out your pussy this summer at Kohl's. Take 50% off on all spring items and shake that ass for some Kohl's cash this summer at Kohl's.
Oh.
That's how they getting down in Kohl's.
Okay. Wow.
Happy New Year from Kohl's.
There's no shame in the media.
Gracious. L. Nixon, the voice of reason, is in the building.
Oh, peace. Salute to you, brother.
Hope all is well.
Wow.
Happy New Year. He said, happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year to us. Happy New Year to you, brother. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, that was a quick little commercial break.
I thought Kohl's was a little higher up, a little higher than Target or something.
I mean,
Wait a minute.
They got to keep up with the times, man. Times change, Mrs. Harris. It's not like when we were growing up anymore. You got to keep up with, look.
21. Can you do some for me? Get 21% off when you fuck up a check at TJ Maxx. No cap, on God. Flex on your ex bitch this season in our winter sweaters, hoodies, and joggers. 21, 21, 21. Only at TJ Maxx.
It's the world we live in now. You got to cater to the people.
Oh, wow. I said, knock a bitch
Happy
out.
New Year. This is the year we got to look forward to, y'all.
Discount.
2023. What are you guys looking forward to out there? Looking forward to more commercials like that.
No.
Can't wait to hear what Victoria's Secret commercial is going to sound like.
Goodness gracious. Whew.
Goodness gracious.
Those weren't real commercials, right?
In 2022, I couldn't tell
I'm
you.
gonna have to send something to corporate, man. That's an email to corporate. Gotta put it in black and white. That's
21. Bust it open. She said, flex on your ex-boo real quick at Kohl's.
I just think it's bad because we're really hyper sexualizing our youth. We're just grooming them. The world of maps, people minor attracted people are, won't be shamed anymore. They're actually getting some inclusion into being a preference and not a threat.
Okay.
And as parents, we have a lot of control over our children.
Okay.
And we don't do it. The clothes, everything's tight, like we were roller skating yesterday. It was an abundance of people, but just looking at the little girl, everything is tight. Everything is tight, belly, even down to the little babies, just,
Ooh.
I don't know. It's a bit much.
Okay.
We're not training them at all
Okay.
to learn how to be social with one another. The school's stripping that away. There's no dance festivals. They can barely talk in lunch, in class,
Right.
play with each other, any
not.
of that. So imagine them coming out of school. They don't know how to communicate or, anything with each other.
Ooh.
It's amazing. It's a different world. But be more mindful of how you're sending your children out there and what you're doing around them and what you're allowing them to listen to and watch. You have control. You have to keep it, maintain it, focus on it. Because they change quickly. And we see how time is, right? 25 years, it don't even feel like it. It went so fast. Not to say all our times were good or any
Absolutely.
of that, but
not at all.
we had some rough shit, but it really it doesn't feel like that much time. To look at these big kids we have, sometimes I just be like, really? It was just wiping ass.
We were.
So you don't realize how fast it goes. I would definitely tell that to the young folk. Be mindful of what you model around them, the way you speak to the opposite sex when they're around, the way you receive the information given from the opposite sex. Like they need to know how to de-escalate a situation, calm their emotions down, take some breathers, like all these things. It's hard for us as adults to do it, but they watch us pop off, get mad at the instance of somebody saying something you don't like they watch us. True, so, you know, be a model that you want to send them out to being, you know, civilized in society, because if we don't teach them, society will, you know, and if they popping off at home, everybody's not going to respect your baby outside. I'm just saying, you know, they're going to get thrown to the ground. They're going to get popped something. So, you know, that level of respect is not being taught to go outside, because a lot of these young folk are really disrespectful. They have no respect for elders, yo.
Talk about it.
Oh my goodness. And shame on us. Everybody is not your parent or your grandparent.
Right. So
if they see you disrespecting your parent and your grandparent, they're going to go out in the world. They don't care about these elders. It's unfair. So, you know.
I want to play a video for you. Let's go ahead and get to these check-ins real quick, though.
Peace to everybody.
L. Nixon said, happy anniversary. Love the chemistry between you two. It's strong. Salute. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
That.
And let me go ahead and send this video right here. I did a video a while ago, Mrs. Harris, and I asked a question. And I'm going to play a second video to kind of drive it all home.
Okay.
But I want to set it up first. So let me ask you a question.
Setting it up.
I do.
Too.
Let me ask you a question. We've been together for 25 years. Would you say we've had what the young people nowadays would call struggle love?
What they call struggle love is toxicity.
Okay.
So I wouldn't call that struggle love. Now the fighting and the carrying on and one person's going to jail and you know what I mean?
Right.
All of that, that's not what I call struggle love. What I consider to be struggle love is pushing through those hard times. You working hours, us having to do, I have to work a morning shift, you have to work a night shift. You know, we have to figure out where we gonna take the kid, who's gonna watch the kid, because we ain't dealing with daycare. Like it was a lot of struggle in that, acclimating to time and space with each other.
Right.
Outside drama leaking into has nothing to do with us.
Absolutely.
Homelessness.
Talk about it.
You know, not being able to financially take care of things, just, you know, struggle. That type of struggle, not the struggle of beating up on each other and fucking at nighttime. Like, no.
Absolutely.
No, we talking about pushing through where you got to work 2 jobs and I got to go to school and we still got to take care of the kids. Adding on another kid when things are starting to flow, you got a business and blah, blah, blah. Now we adding on something else, like unexpected, all types of everything. Car blowing up.
Right. Right.
You know, unexpected, all types of stuff.
Understandable.
Oh, man.
And again, you know, whichever side you look at it on, I think they look at all of that as struggle love. Okay. But I think, you know, financially, if we both are not put together when we meet, I think they consider that struggle love. If one of us has to build ourselves up or so on and so forth, just that challenge implicates struggle. And that challenge is something that modern people would rather not deal with. They would rather you be polished and shiny and all put together when you come, quote unquote, to the table. And, you know, the reason I ask that is because do you think it's a necessary characteristic, a necessary ingredient to becoming a better couple, to becoming a better person, understanding that there's growth in life, that there are increments and rites of passage and all types of things that get us to the levels that we are? Or do they just happen? And should we come into the relationship whole, perfect, and financially sound, spiritually astute, and, you know, go from there? If so, what does that look like?
So everybody's dating Jesus now. I don't believe anybody's
Wait a
perfect.
minute. Okay.
I don't believe
Come on with it.
anybody's perfect. I think we can all grow and learn in so many different ways. You know, especially if we come from families where everybody says that you're all good, and then this mate that you want, you see the future and everything, but you're not willing to grow and change for the future.
To accomplish,
you know what I mean? To
it.
accomplish.
I get it.
That,
I get it. I'm with you.
You know,
I'm with you. Okay, so stay right there. Okay, we gonna put a pin there.
Yeah.
Put a pin there. I'm gonna play a couple videos. Let's do this.
Struggle love.
Let's do this.
Peace, TikTok. Mr. He Said checking in with a midday question. Don't forget to check out He Said, She Said, Love and Abundance every Thursday at 8 on YouTube and Twitch. I got a question for y'all. If a functioning two-parent household was to take on a single mom with 1 or 2 children in a mentor or foster type situation, do you guys think that it would help the single parent epidemic in our community? Thoughtful and honest answers only. Shout out to everybody. Peace and love. Love and abundance. 1.
Wow, that's a great.
Shout out to HarrisTribe TikTok.
Great question.
Our TikTok be
shout
moving.
out
Y'all
to
better
you.
check
Shout
it
out
out.
to you. Insightful.
That was the first video I wanted to play. I want to play another one now. Before you comment, I want to play another one, and y'all check this out.
Married women. I don't want your husband at all. I just feel like if you know a single mother, can you send your husband to help us out a little bit? Like there's stuff that I didn't know about you. I didn't.
Mrs. Harris, what you think about what I said, what she said, he said, she said, love and abundance?
Oh man.
Every Thursday at 8 o'clock.
I don't know if women know how they word shit. So ladies, wait, she said, wives, send your husbands over. So is that statement stating that you gentlemen, my husband, you have no choice in going? I can say, you go mentor her son. And you have to acquiesce. You're supposed to.
Hello, motherfucker.
That was Sherry, right?
That was Sherry.
No, Sherry.
That was Sherry.
No. You paying? The fuck? Wow. But the way you stated your question, it wouldn't be like that. Wow, that's you. That's oh.
Okay.
And I agree with her. It's not.
Look.
You let me find me a good black man. I'd be damned if I let him go anywhere. I always said I never fight over a man, but you let me have a good black man and the bitch can't say shit to me because she will get her ass kicked. I don't play.
Did y'all hear what Sherry said, y'all? What y'all think about it? Shout out to Wealth Talk Productions on the check in. The family is checking in.
If she would have worded
Hey, JP.
Hey, JP. If she would have worded it differently, if she would have asked the husbands, you know, if that's something you would want to do, you know, if it's something that you're capable of doing, you know, because again, you guys are great leaders in some communities. So it is some gentlemen that are running their homes very well. And mothers may need that type of gentleman around their child, which is something great to reach out to. But to ask the wife,
send him
not to
over.
ask the husband if he would like to mentor or do whatever, send him over. And on top of that, we don't want to have sex with him. Ain't no.
That's how they do us, though. But you gotta
Women,
admit,
stop.
that's how they do us.
Everybody don't want you. Everybody don't want to hit it.
Do us.
Everybody don't want to hit it. Just like y'all have options, they have options as well. And you know, they're not choosing you. Like if they say, I'd like to have sex with you, that's something different. But you know, if the statement hasn't been made, don't assume. Stop assuming all men want y'all. It's a problem. Damn. Because we would be able to build communities like that. Because I would not have a problem. My husband has always been willing to reach out and mentor nephews, any young people in the neighborhood, all that. So that's not the issue. But when you think you can puppeteer, or get somebody's wife to puppeteer their husband, what the hell is wrong with y'all? They're not puppets. They're human. They're not puppies. You know, they have feelings, and you know they should be considered.
Sure.
This is amazing.
She said,
The shit that people say.
Red Rover, send that ass on
Wow.
over here. Shout out to JP. She said, happy anniversary to my favorite
Thank
couple.
you.
Look what love
Thank you.
can do. Happy 2023.
Thank
HarrisTribe
you.
Media Group, family and community.
Thank you.
Peace and love
JP.
to you, JP. How's your spirit, citizen?
right.
Hope you're doing well. You've been
Citizen.
going strong this week, JP. I've been working, so I got to check in from the clouds. Can't give no, you know, my boss no ammunition, you know. But I've been checking you out. You definitely been going strong. Continue to push that dope content. Skrilla said Nikki go 10 toes down. Check her ass. That's
Dude,
right.
man.
She does.
It's
That's
amazing.
my girl. Sis say yes, sis. They think so. They think everybody want them.
I want you.
Nightbot don't even want you. Nightbot said, did you forget to share the video? That's what he wants you to do. He don't want to sleep with you. He wants you to share the video. Shout out to Nightbot. JP checked in. She said, question. Nikki, how do you deal with women flirting with your man?
They don't. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. It's never been a thing to bother me. Let me just say, I'm very attracted to him, so I couldn't see why another woman wouldn't be attracted to him. It's about him and how he responds to it. You know, it doesn't bother me at all. I don't feel threatened. I was never one of them women. Again, I grew up with a lot of brothers, so for them to be so much older, I saw one, and just to see that woman be in so much jealous rage, or see those types of situations, friends, TV, just all of that, you know, fatal attraction, and just no, I just don't have that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I celebrate him. I think he's beautiful. So if someone's gawking at him or even approaches him while we out, yeah, I'm not threatened. I might even step to the side just to see how I go, you know. Yeah. And I mean, because we're pretty entertaining, like, and that's right? You know, and that's the thing about it. We really try to be, you know, entertaining and energetic and keep this same energy, you know, and being New Yorkers, we try to feel every situation. So I would do something comical, or, you know, brush it off as just a woman being interested in a man and right, you know, not able to entertain at this particular time. So, you know, last time we were out, we weren't together. I went to the bar to get drinks. She stayed in this, you know, patio area. Yeah. And the young lady, you know, we both heard the song. I think it was Kwame. I was telling Nikki the Kwame song came on. And, you know, we both kind of locked eyes and we both were singing the song. And, you know, she's trying to let me know she's into it. And, you know, but, you know, I went to the bar and, you know, just kindly let her know, you know, I remember when y'all used to feel like this about us, when women used to genuinely feel like the lyrics to this song, you know, about guys, but y'all don't feel like that anymore. And not sure enough, a gentleman hears our little interaction and chimes right in, gets right up, comes over like, yeah, man, you're right. They don't, you know, and they continued, and I just slid right off and, you know, just subdued that situation right there. But I just think the energy is always appreciated. And, you know, it's always good to know that somebody's watching you and somebody sees you. But that's how I met the missus. Is I didn't approach the missus, no matter what people may think. You know, a lot of people allude to, you know, me doing something to particularly get her. But that was not the case. And, you know, Mrs. Harris walked up to me. She offered to help me. Real shit. In a club, music blasted.
Middle of the night. Gully, Brooklyn club. I'm, you know, walking through with Timberlands on, not tied.
They was untied.
And she's like, you know, your shoe is untied. You know that, right? And I'm like, I don't know how to tie it. She's like, I do. I help you.
Yeah. I did looked at him like, I'll tie it for you.
I'll take your help. And then the gum situation came up, right? Somebody had gum. I'm not sure if it was me.
You
or
had
it
a
was
piece.
Me.
You had a piece of gum.
Okay, but it was only one piece.
Yeah. And I seen him about to put it in
and
his
she
mouth.
like, can I get a piece of gum? And I'm like,
it's the last piece.
Want it?
Yeah. And I took it.
And she took it.
Right from his mouth. Sure did.
And that's, you know, again, that's witty, that's chemistry, that's building, that's rapport.
Yeah.
We cannot be like, who paying for the drink? If we like each other, who's gonna lead to the bar? If he brings up a drink, then he must go and buy it because he brung it up. And all of those semantics, we would never be sitting here if we don't take a chance. No guarantees. I didn't know this woman from a hole in the wall.
Oh. And I was engulfed. I was willing to get to know him. You know, looking back, I'm very intuitive. We always talk about that. There's so much more to energy than just what we see in front of us. As you all know, some shit is invisible. But I would always say that there was something there. There was a light shining on this man for me. So, you know, for something to be exposed to me so evident, I wanted to get to know it better. So getting to his neighborhood, and every time I encountered somebody, oh, see, that's my man, you know, basketball, just all of that, you know, and that's the vetting part, getting in his community and seeing how these people adore him or like him or love him or whatever the case may be, the cooperative relationship he had with his child's mother, you know, he was a good man before me. I wanted a piece of that. So
she wanted,
you know,
she wanted in.
Just a piece. You can have a piece of my
JP
love.
says she appreciates you sharing the answer.
Yeah.
And let's see. She said, appreciate the answer. You don't strike me as the windmill type. Yet you throw them bows. Laugh out loud. Absolutely. We try to be versatile. And Just Andre is checking in.
Hey, love. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Hope all is well. Shout out to you and the whole family over there on the channel. Shout out to Freezy, my guy, Victor Freeze. Shout out to Chef. Shout out to Just Andrea.
Yes,
y'all go and check them out if y'all got some time.
2023.
They are amazing. That stream you guys did the other day was amazing, Andrea. The way you handled yourself, your sharing was amazing. The level of openness that you displayed about your previous marriage and the growth that you went through and accomplished was tremendous. I don't know what homeboy on the we're not even gonna go there.
Yeah. But it's hard for people to see that. You know, I'm so not the same I was 15 years ago.
Sis got a question out there. How do you all deal with a sister that don't do humans? Child, let me tell you. I think I'll start with this one.
Need to be right. Fire, hellfire in the mouth, woman.
I know what you mean. What you do is you just tell them that you understand. And what you do is you envision pineapples. Nothing but pineapples.
Sweet, sweet island.
Pineapples. And everything's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. Mrs. Harris, I have a question for you. If there was something that you can change about the 25 years we've been together, what would it be? Big or small, short or tall? It's your time.
Our bank account? No.
I know that's right. I have had some effect on you. When I met her, her answer would be, I would like to cure all of the sick children in America and then get a camping.
Everybody
Michael
should
Jackson,
have love.
me and him and
Love for everybody. Just love. Just come up to the store and buy some love. Damn. I don't know, you know, I really wouldn't change anything besides, you know, the financial literacy or just the financial discipline. Because, you know, great wisdom comes with those struggles. And, you know, we learned a lot about each other. Our true character came out in the whims of distress and turmoil and, you know, all of that. So I wouldn't change any of that. Yeah, no, just some money.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, and just
money.
Just the decisions. Some of the decisions that we made, we should have made them earlier. And you know, meeting, courting, jumping into, you know, having Nana, 3 years later, 2 to 3 years later, and then starting our family, you know, both feet on the ground and running. If we would have did that from when we met, if we would have just bought into each other and started our family, you know, I think that's the one thing I would have changed. I think we, you know, went through the American, I got to get to know her. You got to get to know me, and so on and so forth. When we told each other everything we needed to tell each other that night.
Right. I swear. I swear. It's so true.
And, you know,
It's
looking
so
back
true.
at your dynamic, you had a certain dynamic when I met you that I had no idea of.
Right.
And if we would have been on the same page, just things would have been just a little different.
But then again, my mindset was modern women mindset. My mindset was, you know, I can't trust and allow you to lead, you know, without having a full on blueprint. I need to see every idea, every move, every turn, every twist. You know, I had to have a lot of control in a lot of situations, especially with the kids. When it came up with the kids, oh man, yeah, I'm the biggest say so. I know what's right. This is how it should be. I mean, thank God he trusted that, because he had so many years to watch me with all the other children in my family. So he trusted that. But I did. I tried to take a lot of control. You know, I really did. I was one of you modern women, but back in the day, and it wasn't harsh and, you know, cantankerous and yelling and carrying on, but still, you know, trying to take a lot of the lead, you know, and not being willing to trust. You know, I trust you in so many other aspects. It was like, you know, can I trust that you're going to stay after I do all of this, you know? So it was the fear, and the fear was taught because you didn't give me any reason to be that fearful. That fear kept me from, you know, pushing you to be greater. Let's just say.
Okay.
You know, because I was afraid.
Couple of questions. Keep them coming. Y'all keep them coming all y'all want to, man. We here.
Yeah.
JP said, one more question. Does chemistry lead to energy, or do they come together?
Man, that's a good one.
That's an amazing question.
I would think they're both, right? Because energy is a part of chemistry, right? You're looking at it from a science perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I think
but I also believe in frequency, and
it could possibly be the other way around for me. I think your energy may lead to the chemistry that we have. I think us entertaining each other's energy is going to give us familiarity, and then that's going to create a chemistry. But you know, the way she put it is definitely scientific, and that, you know, that kismic connection is going to lead to, you know, like she says, this energy. Like, I knew you in a previous life,
like
we've been together before.
Yes.
Like, this is what it's supposed to be.
Right.
No matter where we go, we're gonna find each other, right? And you know, some people might think that is, you know, nostalgic or Disney or whatever you want to call it, you know, make believe. But in some instances, you know, it's like, no matter where we are, we gonna find each other, whether it was, you know, 16th century, whether it's gonna be, you know, whatever. I got you.
And too many coincidences before, up until, you know, we met, how close in vicinity we lived amongst each other in the same spaces. So it's like, okay, the universe is going to kind of put you around here. I'm going to put you around here. Let's see if something happens. So
Sis got a question. Sis said, do you think the state of Black family will change?
Yeah.
I think it's always going to change.
I think it's, you know, it's always going to change.
Yeah.
Now, what it's going to change into, I don't know, because I think a lot of us overindulge our children. So they're coming up quite selfish and self-absorbed and, you know, privileged and you know, and a lot of us are not even, you know, that financial, you know, they think they're rich type shit. You know, your money is our money. You know, this is my house. No. You know what I mean? Like, they really have this entitlement and that they deserve everything. You know, so I really don't know, you know, because regardless of what we model, what we teach, they are conscious people.
Yeah.
They are freaking human beings, and they gonna choose bad or good,
decisions,
foolish, stupid, or the best decisions. So, you know, it's kind of on them. Us parents need to fall back a little bit and stop trying to take on all the blame. We are not the full blame. Once we become an adult, man.
It's choices. Life's about choices. Look at the question sis put up. It says, would you consider another child?
If you would consider another kid.
Would you consider another kid?
Honey, would you consider?
I mean, we always we are always
I
considering
mean, biologically,
children.
I am out of
Right.
shop. My
To
shop
have-
is closed. That's
for it
not
to come out of
going
Nikki,
down.
that's not gonna
It's
happen.
impossible for one. But him, he's going to be functional to, you know, after he's in the grave. So I mean,
it's always something
no,
to
we're
consider
not-
only
right.
because we have 10, you know, up to 8, 7. How many
What we got? We got 4 of our own,
godchildren
6?
do we have?
6.
6 or 7 godchildren. So depending
I mean, those are
on
kind
the
of
future, which is unable to be predicted,
right.
another child could just end up at our doorstep any day. Like,
Right.
knock.
But I think they probably mean biologically. Us
I get
having some
that,
kids too.
but I just think that realistic
part is-
openness,
that's how we think.
you can't cut
Yes.
that openness off just
Absolutely
because we're open to our godchildren doesn't close us off to foster children
Right.
or additional
And we are
children.
those.
Like, so, you know, and again, I think that's the superiority in which we talk about women and me particularly, because in all of those instances, children are welcomed. Oh, I want to have a baby for my friend up the street. I want to be a surrogate. I'm going to put it in my oven and bake it and give it to her. Or we going to be fosters. We going to do, you know, respite. And that's all fine because the woman says that's what we going to do. But the minute I have a baby by a girl up the street, the baby's wrong. You shouldn't have did that. That was inconsiderate. That was disrespectful. That was all of these things. But that baby could have came a host of other ways. And you would have been like, ugh. Somebody could have left it on our doorstep and you'd have been like, if you don't bring that baby in here.
Y'all hear that, ladies? It's true.
And that's
It's
the
true.
superiority of it all between all of these subjects that come up. It's one common theme. And again, when you guys start to see it, you can't unsee it. And I'm not saying that it's not warranted. I'm not saying that they don't have the right to do it. All I'm saying is the people who you know don't deserve it, recognize it, and will call it out. How about leave them out of it? But you just got to make everybody accept it. Even men that's like, yo, I don't accept that foolishness. You can't get me with the sign language. Can't get me with the manipulation. You can't get me with that. And you still like, yeah, something wrong with you then. You hate your mother.
Yeah.
Because
That's where it's at.
I can't manipulate you with none of my tools. You're a monster.
Oh, especially you
You know,
can't
I'm not a
manipulate me
monster.
with the dussy. Oh,
I'm just not
please.
gonna let you manipulate me with your
You're
tools.
homosexual.
I'm so sorry. But at least give the consideration to the people who can see through it and don't deserve that behavior. Now, all the people you can pull it on.
Right.
Do it.
Right.
Do your thing.
So when men don't acquiesce to women, there's a problem. You know, they get shame, blame, you know, and all that extra stuff.
It's not fair. Sean said, happy anniversary.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir. We appreciate you, Sean. Sean's a dime.
Yes. Yes,
Just
he
for the
is.
record.
Ladies.
Just for the record. And I like that
Telling you,
little, I like
mine
that
is
little,
a
I like that
beautiful
little
thing.
situation he growing right
What?
around here.
Is he?
I like that little
Ooh, you better
situation he
stop
got
growing up.
right
You better
here.
stop growing up.
I like that.
Goddamn.
I ain't gonna front. Y'all better act like
I better
y'all
holler
know.
at Beautiful Oils.
Y'all
Get your
better act
rights.
like y'all know. I Excel is in the building, my brother. Shout out to you on that dope stream that you did.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and listen.
Go ahead and
See,
get
you
on in the
sneaking-
driver's
you
street
sneaking on.
and get on driving, man. Just keep doing what you do, brother.
Okay. He said he got something to say. I'm trying to hear it.
Mrs. Harris.
Yes, mister.
It's been a ride.
It is.
It's been a roller coaster, right?
Yep.
Okay. You put a post up. No, I know exactly where I'm going on this one. I've been thinking about this one since you put the post up. You put a post up on your page. I don't even want to grab it and dig for it or none of that because you said, think about when somebody says what they're gonna do and then stands on it. Do you remember that post?
Oh yeah. Yes, I do.
You want to talk about that?
What was it though? In all, it was imagine finding a man who stands on his word and
says what he's gonna do and then actually does it.
And does it. Yeah. It's a great thing. You know, again, a lot of us ain't been around many guys. So when you come around a lot of guys and you have those guys who talk a lot of shit and they just talk a lot of shit and they ain't doing nothing, like you get to see that, you know, versus the guys who are really doing and they're not talking and then they pull up and they got the new whip and they just bought a house and it's like, he wasn't even talking about all of that. He was gone, he was working, he was on his purpose. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think those things are something that, you know, women need to look for, you know, versus someone always telling you or boosting about what they can do and what they're gonna do and all of that. You know, look for someone who's doing it. They're modeling what they're trying to present to you. You know what I mean? So them chameleons are strong and you got to be able to decipher through what people say. You know, and I just grew up with the boys. They used to tell me, yo, fuck what niggas say, watch what they do. So that's where I came from. You know, and I appreciate that type of word. Just like that.
True indeed. Shout out to the fellas.
Word.
I mean, it's just, we hear so much negative. We hear so much about what people are not doing. To see a post like that, it's, you know, eye-opening to see how many comments you get on that. Because if you would have said ninjas ain't ish,
oh yeah,
it would have been a bunch of likes. Yes,
they
girl.
Added on.
Facts. Keep on going. You said that, and then some more stuff. But when it's like that, and again, you're not trying to brag. You're not saying I got a man that's better than everybody else's. You're just saying, imagine the best case scenario.
Right.
We always imagine the worst case scenario.
Always.
Imagine the best case scenario. Imagine you meet somebody, they say they're going to do something, and they actually do it. And I'm thinking like, God damn, that was a dope ass post. Yeah. Because a lot of us would love to just spew what happened to us, become a victim and say, look, all of the girls that tricked me in my life. And instead of saying, damn, you know what? You said you was going to be there for me and you was there for me. Even if it ends in 2 years, 3 years, you said you was going to do what you did it. Most companies don't even get this long a run in America. 3 years, shit, 4 years, a business don't even stay open that long. You know what? Thank you for giving me this time. Thank you for spending, you know, whatever. We don't look at it like that. And I think that's the difference between becoming a better person for, you know, the next relationship or your ultimate last relationship.
Right.
Or just continuing to go through the motions and blame everybody else or set yourself up for failure, victimization, or whatever the case may be, to not better yourself and become a better person for the next person you meet. And it becomes a little insensitive.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I came in like a wrecking ball, you know. It was the quiet, reserved type. You know, I talked a lot. I talked a whole lot. Yes. I wanted to give him all the information up front. I think the difference with my stories of, you know, said childhood trauma, whatever the case may be, when I told them, I think I may have more, you know, just expressed that it was a part of my life, not something that was, you know, traumatizing to a point to where I couldn't communicate it. Obviously, there was times I laugh about it, joke about it, you know, found some humor in it. So just reflecting on those childhood things early with him, you know, letting him know I'm there. It exists. You know, the memories are there. Nothing's your fault, but these things do exist. So him just knowing and getting his own view of my family and the dynamic and all of that, you know, learning to understand me is, you know, something.
I think that was one of the most, you know, pivotal things. Shout out to Brandon L. Jett on the check-in. Shout out to my guy. Hope you're doing well. Salute to you.
Yes.
And just going to your neighborhood, seeing how you were received, just like you said about me. You know, I think it was absolutely a mirror of reciprocation in that aspect. I wanted to go to your neighborhood to see when 10, 15 Queens guys are in your vicinity, who whispers in your ear, who says, oh, you messing with Nikki? Who approaches me to say X, Y, Z?
Or something.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
Because they do.
Because that's a tell.
Right.
They letting me know. It's, you know. And then again, just like you said about me, I can mirror the exact same words. Like, you were respected in your neighborhood. You were protected.
That part.
You were valued. They knew what your value was in that neighborhood, how you were treated, so on and so forth. Your brothers, X, Y, Z. And, you know, I was in line for it. Let's go. This is what I'm made for.
Right.
I perform under the lights with the pressure. Oh, her brothers. Oh, this. Oh, the gangsters. Oh, queens. Oh, yeah. So what? So what? So what?
And not in a disrespectful way.
Absolutely not.
It didn't sway him, shake him, you know, any of that. So are we going where? All right. And nothing changed. Like, and I appreciate that. He, man. I mean, you know.
And again, that's the process of vetting, you know, whether it comes traditionally from our immediate family, but the men in our life are going to show you how valuable you are.
Yeah.
And when another man comes in to take over that protection, to take over that, they're going to want him to measure up.
Oh, yeah.
What you about, fam?
Who this dude?
And, you know, that was admirable. It let me know exactly where you were and made us, you know, able to connect on so many other levels because we were so much alike. The things we wanted, the things we didn't want, what we were aspiring to, how we were aspiring to do it, commonality of music and astrology and, you know, just so many different things that we started to find out that just strengthened the bond.
Yeah. I think the need and the pressure to change and break cycles is something that was always a connection for us too. You know, holding that tight. Like, we came from some rocky ass foundations, like no solid ground, no real legacy, you know, of both sides, you know. So
shout out to Sir Hell on the check, guy.
We wanted
Hope all is
more.
well, sir. Shout out to you and Lady Hell. Happy holiday, happy New Year. Hope you and the beautiful family is doing well.
Yes.
Hopefully you sent that link for tonight because we on fire, baby.
It's getting hot in here.
Culture Invasion Podcast on the check-in. Peace and love. Being covered and protected by men is a rare gift. That's a fact. That's fire.
I mean, you know, I like that. I need to go on a shirt. It is a gift. And I don't think women find any honor in that. I don't even think they realize the protection and the provision. Or if they do realize the ignorance is bliss, they don't care. They use it to their advantage. And it's not okay. There's no equality. You know, it's just all bullshit.
Damn.
I mean, it is. It really is. And it saddens me that, you know, I'm kind of elated. I don't mind doing the work. I don't mind doing the job because, like you said, it is a gift to have been that protected and valued from the different communities that I've come from. And, you know, to not have that father lead that type of situation. You know, it was not my father. It was brothers and my brother's brothers and those brothers. It's a lot of damn brothers. And then meeting him in 25 years, his brothers now have become my brothers. That's a lot of brothers. It's a lot.
And they call us a lot.
Yeah, we love them
with
all.
Their situations, reflections, and it's heartbreaking.
It is.
It's heartbreaking to have a brother sit on the couch and say he's not considered, that, you know, he's yelled at, that he pays bills on his house and, you know, his significant other's house with his children in there, and he still can't stay there. Or, you know, men that say they have to have a second apartment just in case they get kicked out of the first one.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
Or some neglectful and not so good mothers who are very nasty to good fathers, disrespectful, just no gratitude, no gratefulness. I mean, and that shit is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking because I don't think the women see what they do. They see no wrong in the shit that they do a lot of the time, because the elder women are not saying that they're wrong. Kind of taught them that, y'all need to do a little better because these men are walking away from y'all. They're not tolerating that shit. They don't deserve it. And when they say enough is enough, they're going to roll.
I mean, this is why we hit the record button tonight, because, after being together for the years that we have been, we can't see anything wrong with wanting to celebrate each other, reflect on some stories sometimes, and just take a second to, again, put it out there. We've been recording for almost 2 years now. We love this space. It gives a video documentary for our little one who is now 8 years old, about to be 9. And she'll be able to click on these links one day and just get information that maybe she couldn't have got from us now. And being able to do that today, we absolutely wanted to come on here to give each other kudos, number one, for, again, doing something that our peoples didn't do.
At all. Yep.
And I think sometimes you guys have to remember and put the gasoline in your own tank by patting yourself on the back and saying that, a lot of our ancestors, a lot of our family members weren't willing to coexist with another person, weren't willing to put up with the day-to-day ups and downs of a relationship to make it 25 years. So shout out to you fellas and you ladies that are, being positive, and rest in peace to my sis. Intentional with your purpose, with your words, intentional with your relationship. I think it makes a difference.
It does.
And it doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes or 25 minutes. What you got, Mrs. Harris?
I mean, that's the work. People don't see the work. And that growth is hard. Like I said, it's hard. I mean, and it can make you sick, literally. You know what I mean? Because you think what you're doing, how you're moving is right. But if someone that loves you and adores you and has been watching you for so long tells you that something is jeopardizing us, you should listen. You should listen. Even if you don't feel the need to acquiesce right away, but consider, don't be so reactive and ready to take their head off, because, we're not perfect. We are not perfect. Our shit do stink sometimes now.
Culture Invasion says zero accountability.
Absolutely.
And entitlement is over 9,000. Damn, that's a lot of accountability.
Yes.
Oh man. All right. Let's see. IXL said they got about 5 years before I cross over to the snow, to the bunnies, go down the bunny hole.
I mean, modern women is modern women. Might get a little different, but a lot of modern women are just modern women. That's why they're getting their passports and going out of the country. So American, white, black, I don't think it really matters. If it's American and it's modern, it's kind of the same boat.
We met a long time ago, Culture Invasion. 1998. Baby, no more grinding. I get so excited. That was the #1 song, I think. It was #1 song for us, I'll tell you that. I don't know if it was in America, but for us, it was.
That's when the clubs was rocking. Everybody was dancing.
Man, we met in a little spot called the Callaloo, man.
Callaloo pot.
And it was nice.
Yes, Caribbean them. The Long Island iced tea was big cup.
Big ting them. Boy, I'm on Caribbean ting that. It was a nice,
speakers will blow your head
dark,
off.
loud place. And yeah, man, it was dope. Best decision ever in my life made. And don't think I didn't weigh it out.
Right. Just the coming up to
Don't
us,
think I didn't
you
weigh
going
it
out
out.
that night and us going out that night.
Absolutely.
Because I was not a partier. So that was unique,
Mm-hmm.
to say the least.
And it was New Year's. Club was like $100 to get in. So that was like, no, man.
It was half of that for us. Because
But,
ladies get in cheaper
it was
or free.
Oh, no way.
The privilege. Any club, we either get in free or it's half.
No, that's right.
So, I mean, that's another privilege to throw under the belt.
Big Dog Philly OG. Big Dog Philly OG. Welcome to the chat.
Welcome.
Y'all show some love to Big Dog Philly OG. It's the first time I seen him in the chat.
Okay. Well, welcome then.
Welcome. Hope you enjoy yourself. We chopping it up and enjoying each other on our 25th anniversary. We met in 1998.
1998, baby.
On this day.
Yes.
And we are just, appreciating each other and trying to be grown like we was back then.
We just try to be grown.
Some of our people struggle seeing 25 years on earth.
Absolutely.
Y'all have that together.
Yes.
We do. We appreciate it. And, shout out to everybody that falls short.
Mm-hmm.
But this is definitely something conscious, man. And from walking up to each other, we knew that we wanted something different. And it was always something talked about. And in my opinion, I think that's the best thing that I can give any of them. The children, her, is loving on her. You can say what you want. You can give them things. You could give them houses and education, and you can buy them experiences. But them seeing me love this woman right here under all circumstances, whether we up, whether we down, whether we not seeing eye to eye at the time, but letting them know that any changes that need to be made on my part, I'm willing to make them just because you.
Right.
And everybody
And
don't get that consideration. And just letting them know that if someone really loves you, if someone really appreciates you, they'll do the work to show you. And if they don't, then they won't. And take it as such.
Right.
And don't give them a bunch of opportunities. Don't give them a bunch of excuses. Either you gonna do it or you not.
Yep. And same with them. Same for them.
What say you, Mrs. Harris?
Oh, man. That was awesome. 25 years is a long time. And to me, it's not. I think time is like this. It went so quick. I'm just glad we're here. We got here. We made it here. We still healthy. Hopefully we got another 25. That would be great. And again, just to have our children see that, learn that, model that. And it's something that I have to consciously, intentionally talk to our children about. The honor and the love and the respect and the consideration that I feel for their father. It's amazing when I look back at all the times of having these conversations with them. And they wasn't programmed with TV and things like that. So just always having to build that is something I needed to be conscious of, because they didn't think that. Of course, they're going to have their own impression of daddy. Daddy's gone all day. Like, daddy didn't play no game with me, or well, bitch, daddy was laying tile for fucking 10 hours all day. And he was gone at 5 o'clock in the morning. You lucky he made it home for dinner. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so those things, they don't know. So, we women, it's our job to give them the praise. It's our job behind daddy's back to praise him. So they know that this is, they can't always hear negative, where he on call and he ha. Like, come on. If you ain't got something nice to say, don't say shit at all. When it comes to the other parent, let them figure that shit out on their own. Because my mother did that. And it's something I figured out on my own. I didn't like him on my own. That was my own perception. Nobody trained me to not like him. You wasn't there. Your presence was not felt. That was it. Didn't care about the money, didn't care about none of that shit. I just needed you when I needed you. And when I needed you, you wasn't there. Right? So, women do better. Praise the man in your life around other people. It's something to share. True, don't sit up in discussions with friends and carry on with the negativity. Be the one to stop that and change the trajectory of that conversation to positivity. Start letting them know there is some positivity in men, and we need to shine the light on that, because it's not. It's not being shined on. You know, to the woman who got saved last week from a nigga raping her in the alley. Like, it's shit that happens. The old lady who needed help on the bus the other day. Like, they're helping. They're doing some of the things that they need to do, but they're not being supported. They're not, saying good job, for just being there. So, we got to do a little better with giving the men some praise and some accolades. It don't hurt nobody.
Shout out to you, fellas.
Word.
We appreciate y'all. And shout out to everybody that support the channel, support the stream. Our last stream, we got a lot of amazing support. We want to be able to shout them out now.
Yes.
Shout out to IXL for dropping us the Cash App. We appreciate you, bro.
Yes, much
Shout out to Donique. He checked in as well. And Sir Charles the God. Shout out to all our family that support the stream. We appreciate it. It definitely gives us motivation and inspiration to continue pushing this content out. And we look forward to 2023. We got a lot of upgrades, a lot of changes to let you know that your money went to something worthy.
Yes.
And let's go ahead and hit them with a video for all that love they showed us last time. And here we go.
You know my sales slogan. You want it, I got it. If I ain't got it, I'm gonna get it. So get it while the getting's good.
Get him black. Get him black. Get him black. Get him black. Money. Fuck him up. I play. Get him right. Tighten up. Get right. Get him black. Tighten up. Fuck him up. Get him right. Tighten up. Fuck him up.
Shout out to everybody that support the channel. We appreciate y'all.
It's my favorite shows as kids.
All right, we get back to business. This is Harris. I want to play a quick clip for you.
Okay.
And I want to get a little bit of your reaction. And I'm not going to keep you for much longer. I know you got a lot of Sunday things to do. And we're going to go from there.
Say, get him black.
Get him. Get him. Mess him up. Get him black. Let's do... Man,
not too deep. Not too deep.
Right. Let's.
Work it here. Miss Kavak. Hi, kid. Hi, you, Miss Kavak. I'm fine. How are you, Mrs. Price? Oh, just fine. But, they haven't sent me the authorization to buy the food stamps for the past 6 months. And then they cut me off for non-purchase. Now, Miss Kavak, why do they keep messing with me all the time? The system's one big screw-up. Well, I'm glad to hear you say it, because no one... So you're the gentleman that's been keeping company here.
The gentleman.
Busted.
Because they weren't married, right? Whew.
Shout out to Culture Invasion Podcast. You are absolutely right, sir. That is Claudine,
baby.
Just a little snippet on the old school. Yeah, you know how we do it. Do it. We got a fresh segment in our new season coming up.
Old school, new school, need to learn though.
And that is going to be nothing but old school and new school and how it transcends and translate. And, history repeats itself. Art imitates life. However you guys want to word it.
Which one is it?
Right. You tell me. What do you think, Mrs.?
Oh, man.
Is this the gentleman that you've been keeping time with? You slutty bitch.
It is amazing. Damn, that movie was pivotal. Because living in the system, it kind of gave you a window into how it's happened. Like, they was putting away all the good shit.
Wait a minute.
You're not supposed to be able to get no assistance if you got a nice rug and you got a shiny coffee pot. And
damn,
the man can't be in there. But the system is created for families in need. There's going to be more restrictions on the man. The man is going to be pushed more to work than the woman. You know what I mean? All of that. It is absolutely a different thing, but it is for family. So I don't know if this movie kind of created that dynamic for the mentality of women to think this and think that that's the only way that they would be able to get assistance. You understand? So you kind of, did they create the reality, or was that the reality already?
That's a great question.
Because that movie was what, 60 what?
That was 74.
It was 74. Yeah, they was doing the services by then. It was hardcore. But wow. I think seeing it more, that front window into it, just knowing the dynamic. But yeah, it existed. It was real. Them white women popped up at the house and they better not be here. And
I mean, and
so it was a real thing.
We've been together for 25 years.
Yes.
We were not financially astute when we met. Now, you had a certain level of yeah. I was finding my way and doing my thing, but we weren't rich by any means, right? No. So it came a time where we had to lean on assistance to get us through. Right. That's what I'm getting to right there. That's the story I'm about to tell. Y'all stay with me. Story gonna get good. So we're living in Virginia and we're a young, struggling couple, and we go for assistance. I'm completely against it, of course. You know, we can eat whatever we can eat to get us through. We'll make it, but it got real rough. You know what I mean? So Nikki, like, you know what? Let me go down here. Just see what's what. Yeah. Okay. So, you know, the complete package of assistance is off the table because you got to sign certain papers and they're going after the man for child support, yada, yada, yada.
So that's no financial, no money.
That's not even on the table, right? Because we don't want that. So now you can get, I believe, food stamps and maybe Medicaid, some medical assistance without all of that. So that's cool. All right, let's do that. Okay, so who is it? It's me. And you know, Nikki is like, I got some kids, and you know, I got a man at home, got a husband, whatever I was at the time. Not sure, right? Not sure. We together, but whatever we was, that's right. Whatever we was together, right? So she comes home, right? And she's like, yeah, I went down there, told him the situation, and you know, here's what they say, you know, I can get, and here we go. So we look at it, and it's like, what is it, $28? $35. 35. Shout out to $35.
And food stamps.
Yep, for some food stamps.
Yeah,
they get the little medical coverage, of course. So shout out to the $35
for 3 people, 2 adults and a child. That's all they were willing.
Beautiful. Hey, baby, how you doing? How was your day?
Happy New Year.
Very good. Happy New Year.
Y'all made it back. All right.
Yes, y'all made it home. Very valuable. Oh, okay.
Y'all still have fun?
Oh, okay. Nice. How's Sydney?
She's good.
That's what's up.
Her set's good. They've been playing with
awesome.
Her.
Oh.
That's why we didn't really go last night.
Okay.
She's on him.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, glad settle in. We're gonna get dinner started in a little bit.
Yeah.
Love you too. Shout out to the ladies. They made it back home. They went out to a New Year's Eve party last night. They made it back home.
Yeah.
All is well. No sex trafficking.
Yeah.
They back home with us. Everything's great.
Lovely.
We love that. So back to the story. $35 we left off on, right? Okay. So here we go. We're not smart. So here's what we can do. We're gonna write a letter to them, right? Say, I'm gone, I'm leaving. Because I'm tapping out. This is just can't do it.
He left.
I'm leaving. I'm going back to New York City. You know they believe that too. He said he going back to New York City. Yeah, that's true. He going back. And it's just me and the baby now.
But I had to stipulate that he gives assistance for the child.
Absolutely.
He left me, but he gives assistance to the child.
Okay.
That was my form.
Put all of that on a piece of paper. Was it notarized?
No.
Not even notarized. Put it all on a piece of paper. I had to sign.
Yep. I believe
sign
so.
Right here.
Put a phone number just in case they need to call you.
Took it down there. What you come back with?
Oh, they sent me back. Yeah, I could have got it all if I would apply for child support. But yeah, we didn't do that. But with the food stamps, they gave me $278. It's like $278 for me and the child and the Medicaid. Yeah.
270 something.
Yeah.
Versus 35. That means me.
You were eating
200. You monster of a man. We're eating up 200 and Chris Rock father $32 of the food.
Yes.
You
that was
monster.
Amazing. And I'm a tongue lasher, so I definitely give it to them. You know what I mean? I'm definitely gonna point out and like, what's the fuck? Yeah, give me all that paperwork.
And we're a young couple.
Yeah.
And again,
20-some, early
what
20s.
does that, depict a man to as a woman, the children under her, and just the community in itself? It just shows you having a man is a much more of a hindrance than an advantage.
I mean, yeah, it's true. It's true. And if I didn't come from the woman that I did, I would have thought that as well, but I knew it was a manipulating tool that we can use to get up just a little bit. You know what I mean? We never took money from them, so that wasn't a thing, so, but we are eligible for the food. Listen, I need this. But it was a shame. That was so evident in my face to see that I'm experiencing what my mother experienced 20-something years before me, because she had the same story. Just like Claudine, a white woman came to check up and made her fully aware, if I come back and he's here, everything will be out the window. You know what I mean? So that is a real depiction of some homes.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So,
the system is still,
it's something,
shaped the
again,
same
you
way.
definitely have to, have the determination to make your way financially. But at the same time, we're not going to be naive to, the system at play and the tools and the measures that they take. Absolutely. Absolutely. So strive to be your best self, to be self-sufficient, and then, go from there.
Or
I got
garden if you can.
got one more for you, Mrs. Harris, before we get out of here. We got about 10 minutes.
I would suggest that for everybody for 2023 to, learn a little about soil and cultivating seeds and, growing a small garden out of the plastic bins we get from Walmart or whatever, building your own in the back, off the ground. It's just so many things that we can do to, have some type of sustainable food.
Indeed.
Just in case. Like, cause we don't want to get to that point and then we got to wait 6 months for our food to fucking grow. So already having that type of situation of small things, anything you like, you can grow it. So attempting to put your hands in some soil this year should definitely be a priority.
Indeed. That's a good aspiration. Let's see. Culture invasion checked in. Claudine equals was the reality. How widespread is the question?
Right.
Men weren't allowed to be present with the construction of the new projects. I believe it started in the Lyndon B. Johnson era, early 60s. I agree with you, sir. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Would love to have that conversation. If you ever want to hit us up for a content creator spotlight, any of you amazing content creators, feel free to hit us up on our email. We can get you spotlighted, set you up for a dope presentation of you and your channel. You can let the people know what you offer, how you're going to be moving in 2023. And we absolutely want to take this, year and opportunity to spread love and abundance, whether it's from couples and relationships, other content creators, and other amazing things that we have, in the works. We don't want to speak too much about it. Everybody's really tight-lipped in the 2023 we're hearing. So we're going to jump on that too. And so, yes, please feel free to reach out. We'll be more than happy to link with any of you great content creators. What do you think about this year coming up, Mrs. Harris, 2023?
I'm always looking and trying to think positive. I'm ready for any obstacle that does happen to come our way. Like I said, it's always going to be something else around the corner.
Always.
So, try to keep that positivity day to day, because something else will come up around the corner.
It will.
Yeah,
you
just
got
looking forward to the year.
Some things coming through for 2023. You and Maddie might be having a premiere soon. I think I seen that, right?
Got consent.
Was that a thing
from the little person? We're gonna throw up some never no live, but throwing up some content. I got her doing editing behind the scenes, getting her to see how it's done, and thumbnails, and throwing videos in, and sound, and cutting certain things. So her learning that at 8 is something awesome. I think she might thrive on it, and us putting this one together. She was happy to have it be premiered on the 25th. So
Okay.
You know, we do a lot of stuff because we're homeschooled, so everything is a lesson. You know, down
Absolutely.
to organizing, rearranging rooms, freaking stocking food, whatever it is. So we break bread, and we recorded it one time. So we edited a video, and it's going to be playing on the 25th. So
No
Maddie
doubt.
and Mommy's homeschool journeys. We'll post some content here and there. It's nothing that's, you know, going to be scheduled a lot because I don't want to expose it to too much. So, you
True
know,
indeed.
it's going to be limited.
Very considerate. Very
Yes,
nice.
thank you.
I'm looking forward to it, though.
Yeah.
Give you guys, you know, again, just another avenue of something to bond.
Yes.
And something to learn about each other from doing. All right.
And I can watch myself with her and how I react and respond to her. And I kind of over helicopter a little.
Okay.
So I kind of get to reflect on what she's getting from me. Okay. You know, by looking back at those videos, like I'm kind of helicopter too much. I noticed that. So I'm learning from myself by watching these videos and critiquing myself in them.
True indeed. True
I am
indeed.
a little helicopterish.
We got fresh followers on Facebook. Amazing. We appreciate you. Thank you for being.
Welcome.
And we try to keep some dope content coming out, you know, thought-provoking, ask for your thoughts and opinions, and we just have a great conversation. Everybody's pretty respectful.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets back and forth, but we jump in and we try to moderate that real quick and you know, nip that in the bud, but it all comes from love.
Yes.
And everybody's just trying to get to a greater solution. And sometimes we take different routes, you know, to get to those destinations. All right.
Last part.
I saved the best for last always. Shout out to us for that. Mrs. Harris, I want to hear what you think about this.
Professionalism is inherently anti-Black because it's literally a culture created by white people to keep Black people out from being themselves.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of stuff that's set up when it comes to professionalism is to keep people of color from being themselves.
So
wow, right?
Interesting point.
That was, when I seen that, I said, wait a minute. I don't know whether to be offended or start thinking about it.
Oh, I mean, I would say I agree.
What do I do? I'm perplexed.
I mean, whew.
So wait a minute. No, wait a minute. We got to unpack this, Mrs. Harris.
Mean, my professionalism, yeah, baby. When I throw that suit on and, you know, it's a professional time, I am a whole different representative. You know, I'm more controlled. I'm more disciplined in my words. I'm you know what I mean? But it's still a part of me.
That's what I was getting ready to ask you. So it's not in you. You have to activate it.
I have to act. Yes.
So it's not
I got to play that part.
Not,
I think we all have certain personalities to get us through certain situations.
But professionalism, I think professionalism, being, you know, conscious of your duties, wanting to perform them in a proficient and even go above and beyond. I don't think that that's not in us as people of color.
No, not that it's not, but you're taming the silly, witty, condescending, you know, the asshole side, like those things you're taming because you're in a professional situation, you know. So the creative side of me, the joking, the silly, the, you know, finding some humor in something that may not be appropriate so you're stopping me from being the you know, break the ice in this motherfucker. Everybody is uptight. You understand what I'm saying? So it's yeah. I mean, I like that point a little bit.
I don't know, because
it's still a part of me, but I know I have to tame myself to some degree in that situation.
Let's see what they're saying. Let's see what they're saying.
What you thought about?
IXL said was interesting. He said very interesting.
Right.
Very, very interesting. Sis said, what? She said, I'm lost on that. Culture Invasion said, what? My software is resetting off that. IXL said, I have to side with him. IXL also said, case in point, not being able to wear your hat in a certain fashion. That's true. But
let me say, because I worked for the Gap Incorporated for a very long time, 5-6 years. So after 3 years, you know, built up a brand new store, all of that. The managers were horribly mean, you know, whatever the case may be. So it came to a point where they were willing to hire a manager from inside. Of course, I'm in there. You know, everybody listen to me. I dictate to somebody, you got to go take care of some work. They go to do it. Right. Yeah, I get in there. I had the whole interview, and, you know, the two mean, you know, just asshole like managers, you know, they declined the position for me because they said I was too nice.
You said they were asshole managers, so they wanted to see a certain level of asshole in you, a certain level of coldness, of being able to turn the switch on. I can sharp you up if I need to, but maybe you displayed such a
You can control
side.
masses with kindness. Okay,
True.
so that's like I said, if Hardy, because it was my maiden name, Hardy went on the walkie-talkie for anything and gave some direction, it was happening. You understand what I'm saying? So I was confused about the nice part. So what do you think? People are going to call in and call out and I'm going to be passive? No, you're still getting in trouble. There's a rule. And there's a rule as a manager. These are the steps that I have to take. I'm going to take them. I'm not your fucking friend.
Right. But I don't think
and
that's
I had to say that to them. No,
I think that's different from professionalism.
So don't take my niceness for weakness. It's a real thing. Because I've never been that. You know, and they watch me. These are managers I grew with. But one of my managers was the general manager. He would run around the store acting like a homosexual. He would really be very flamboyant and act really disrespectful to the point where I had to write him up as my general manager. Like, dude, it's inappropriate because the people who are in here who are in the community, you're being really, you know, he just was a clown.
But
Let's
again,
just say that.
that's the professionalism that is warranted. And again, for you to put that any other way, then listen, that's not professional for you to be acting in this setting. It doesn't need to be, you know, I get that that's how you are and everybody has the right to be. That's not when that is called for. And I don't know, maybe they saw you as the type that are going to give a compliment sandwich instead of saying this is what need to happen.
Yeah, I ain't show that. I showed that.
And
how I am.
You know, so
I was confused. Like, wait a minute.
I don't know if those are the same as professionalism. Like Sis said, I don't think that that's the same thing. I think professionalism isn't delegated to us being people of color. Like he said, being naturally black or ethnic should never be a stopper. Again, I can turn off
because white
switches
society
and
says
on
professionalism
switches.
Looks like this. This is why black people acquiesced to that. You know what I mean? Coming up, right? Because when our father was coming up, a degree wasn't needed to get a job, right? So that's something that came in a little later. Now they got to throw on the suit and tie, and you know, now you have to have a degree and you got to finish school. So times just change. You know, everything. Technology changes and you have to acquiesce to that shit. You know, if you never used computers before, now it's a computer world. So you have to go back to school, learn that.
Being a professional is a must. Profession is a qualification. Behavior, professionalism, wearing a mask, being ethnic, all different things.
Right.
Like I said, I think you can talk to, you know, your business colleagues in the boardroom a certain way and your friends on the corner in your neighborhood a different way.
Right.
I think that shows more talent than anything. So when I go into the boardroom and I use this professionalism, a certain vernacular, a certain vocabulary words, I don't think it's because of the color of my skin. I think it's because I have the ability to display it. Even some people who have jobs in a professional setting don't display professionalism, like you alluded to your manager. So I can't say that professionalism is delegated to only Caucasians.
Not at all.
Because what I think he's saying in the video is that we have to, you know, reach deep inside of us for something that doesn't exist and kind of pretend and act that we have professionalism. Like we really don't have it. All we can do is look and see how other people perform and then say, you know what, I can do that. I'll show up on time. I'll talk without cursing. Because in no other instance can I do that. And I don't believe that. I think at weddings, bar mitzvahs, my grandmother's birthday, I think I can act with professionalism, even if it's professionalism within my family. I'm not cursing at anybody. I'm sitting down. I'm eating cake. I'm not twerking all over the couch. Ooh, did I say that?
You did. Yeah.
What you think?
I mean, it's the
Remain professional now.
right. I'm trying not to get up on this chair and bang my chest. I just think about TV, right? Because a lot of this modern day wanting to be independent from the family, men are not needed and necessary. A lot of it came from TV, right? So don't you think those white Caucasian people who were writing these magazines, because it really wasn't TV, it was kind of magazines. We all read all of those magazines of the Dare Ann's and all of this other stuff, so they were enticing us with this particular lifestyle, and it was not a lifestyle that we were in, it was like fantasized. So now we aspire to that, getting these high class jobs and it just kind of made it seem like that life was more flashy and sparkly for women, but these women who were writing these magazines were going home to their husbands, so they were presenting a story to us, working on profession and, loneliness and and we believed it all. The many years of Lifetime movies and stories of
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, this child, I mean, the grooming.
You let me find me a good black man. I'll be damned if I let him go anywhere. I always said I never fight over a man, but you let me have a good black man and the bitch can't say shit to me because she will get her ass kicked.
Shout out to her.
Word.
Damn. Okay. That was fun. This was fun.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys checking in for us on this little bit of a celebration that we had.
Yeah.
We can't wait to come back in the 2-3 with some dope content, whole new format, switch some things up, see how that works.
Stop believing everything you see on TV. Stop admiring realities that's not yours, trying to make them yours. And if you have a man in your life, be considerate. Be considerate of how he sees this panning out. Get his input. And if it doesn't match your shit, roll out. Roll out. Don't waste your time or his time.
No doubt.
Because he's going to be vocal about his shit. Like, I've met many a men, and y'all are pretty stand ground on what you want, what you need. And I've never heard y'all say we don't need women.
No,
y'all getting to that point because women are quite disrespectful, but small percentage. But I've grown up with women saying they don't need men all the time, needing men. So, I don't know. Good luck to everybody. 2023 is a new year. Have a new mindset. Reflect on yourself and your own shit.
I agree. It's an opportunity for us to self-correct, self-reflect, so on and so forth. So sending love and light to each and every last person for the new year. Happy New Year to you all. Give yourself a round of applause for making it through 2022. We got 2023 coming down the pipe, and we just need to be, purposeful and intentional. Shout out to my sister, Queen.
We just lost a great podcast.
And, be intentional with your words, be intentional with your movements, with the people that you talk to, with the message that you deliver. When you hit that record button, be intentional. The people you let up on your panel, be intentional. And I think that, it will all be a lot smoother and a little different than what it was in 2022 and 2021. All we can do is create the atmosphere for different. Right. You know what I mean? And we always wanted this to be a space of unity, a space of positivity. It was the first space and opportunity to have this other than in real life. So we can get back to that. And we are absolutely going to get back to that. Like I said, we got some dope couples. We got some dope interviews. We got some dope material coming down the pipeline. We got some real good conversations as well.
Yeah, always.
So y'all have an amazing week. Enjoy your day off tomorrow if you're lucky enough to have it. Still enjoying the holiday.
Yes.
and get ready for 2023, man, because it's here. He said, she said, Love and Abundance every Thursday at 8 o'clock. We can't wait to see y'all on Thursday. Mrs. Harris,
it's going down.
You know how we do. Get us out of here.
Y'all are so appreciated. Be kind to somebody that's not you. That's it, you know. Mind yourself and your behavior.
And if I offended you, I am going to remind you in advance that I am very sorry and I apologize for the inconvenience of me not giving up.
I got my own band now, you know. I got my own songs.
But look here, that lot of that stuff you doing there ain't nobody gonna buy that. I mean, maybe somebody buy it, but it ain't like you and me. I mean, when we was together, our thing was like this here.
Me a good black man, I'd be damned if I let him go anywhere. I always said I never fight over a man, but you let me have a good black man and the bitch can't say shit to me because she will get her ass kicked. I don't play.
If you haven't already subscribed to Harris Tribe Media Group, go on over there and subscribe to them. Check them out, see if that's the kind of content you get down for, man. Shout out to the Harris Tribe.
And man, definitely listen, you know, a husband and wife duo. Yeah. Man, let me tell you, you know, if you listen to these two, you know, you can see how in tune they are with each other.
Very powerful.
And that's the thing that I love about them. And you know, their sincerity, their transparency, all of that stuff, you know. And so when you get a husband and wife duo, you know, man, because, you know, a lot of people get on here and talk about marriage and all of this stuff, but they're not interacting in the process, you know, live. You know, and so I respect these two for doing that, you know, and shout out to the Harris Tribe Media Group.